ready for another Prairie Point Favorites block of the month, and this time we're doing May. So there's a little repetition on these block units this month, and I'll get you to that pretty soon. But the first thing I want to show you right off the bat is the talk about the fabric requirements that you were given for your background. Okay, the pieces happen to be just a really close cut. Didn't intend for it to be that way, but that's the way it is, and I'll give you a heads up here so that you don't run out of fabric. So I'm going to lay out the pieces that I've cut for a block on the same size piece that you have in your kit. And I'm going to allow just a little bit over here for trimming up in case that isn't straight when you receive it. And then, so we cut our 7 3/4 inch square there. We'll cut out the 3 1/2 inch squares of the background here. And then you have 2 3 inch squares. Okay, you might have enough over there to cut it, you might not, depending on how much you trim there. Hopefully you got at least what we intended to give you. And if not, then there hopefully is room up here to put those too. But I don't want you to go trimming off a 1/2 inch over here, finding out you don't have enough, and if you do, hopefully you got enough up there. So just wanted to point that out on that one. Okay, so on the instructions here, I'm looking at the cutting your large square 7 3/4 inches. Okay, I've made those numbers larger so you don't just kind of glance at it and read it as something different. And then the 4 1/4 of your dark fabric is what you'll use for the triangles on your Flying Geese unit. This is the Fast Flying Geese method, and I'm going to just refer you to look at the video on the November block. And if you look at 6:15 along on the video, if you don't want to watch the whole thing and go right to the Fast Flying Geese tutorial that I did there on that, then you can find it at 6:15 on there. So that is the very same technique, and just save you a little time of watching it here. And then you'll make your little half square triangles for the pinwheel block here, this little pinwheel, and you'll just lay them out like this. You'll square them up. See, I'm going to lay them out the way it shows on the pattern, like that. Okay, but if you start putting them together and they look like this, whoops, that's not the way it goes. It's like that, this, and that. If it looks like that instead, as you can compare it here, that's okay. Don't worry about it. You don't have to rip it out and do it over. That's true in a lot of different techniques that you might do on your blocks. And then, whoops, I should have left those laying out here. I'm going to show you the complete block. And so put those together to make a little 4 patch out of them. Then you're going to take these strips and put 2 on the sides after you sew that up. 2 of these on the top and bottom. Then you're going to take your Flying Geese and put around there like that with your squares on the sides. And these were a lot of fun to make, and I love making all 3 of these every month because there are such differences in the way they look. So if you look at all 3 of these, this one that has kind of a whitish box around the center block, the center unit. This one's kind of a medium. This one really stands out. So they all look so different even though they're the very same block. So have fun making your May blocks.